Welcome to Pen and Gadget. I'm the Pen and Gadget Geek, and this is the Gravitas Quark Up Pocket Pen in titanium. Grade 5 titanium. This pen. Where do I begin with this pen? Oh boy, oh boy. All right, so let's start with the good. That already means that there's bad? Yeah, okay. Let's start with the good. So, let's take a look at that logo here. It's just up. Well, I think that's why they labeled it. There's the Gravitas symbol, right? Okay, logo. You can already see some threadage here. Okay, nice titanium cylinder. Kind of looks like some of the other pens that I like to collect. Okay, so it was one of those things. I saw it online. I don't know where I saw it, as I never do. I never remember where I see these things. I just know that once I see it, it's instantly, and I want that. Where do I get it? Oh, you can't even buy it in America. Oh, you got to order it overseas. Oh, and then you go down the rabbit hole and you watch a review here, a review there. You watch like every kind of thing online. You see, like photos and videos, and you're like, okay, no, I really want it. I want it. Okay. So then I went through the whole process of trying to order it. Those of you who know Gravitas pens know that they have a little bit of an issue when it comes to ordering. We'll get into that later, but that's part of the story, so it has to be in there. I waited a while to get this. We'll touch on that later. Anywho, I saw it, I wanted it, it took a little while for me to get, but when I got it, oh boy, does it look like a beauty. First of all, we're not even going to post it. We're just going to look at it just like this for now first. Got it in a fine nib, which, by the way, writes beautifully. I believe it's just a stainless steel Yovo type nib, and then he kind of does his own things to them and tunes them. Ben, who owns the company, runs the company, does everything. He makes them, for better or worse. He tunes each individual nib by hand, by himself, before they go out. So you get a really, really, really great nib right out of the box. Can't complain about that. The machining is very, very tight and smooth. We'll post this thing so we're a normal human being here. The length is great. I mean, let's zoom on all the way over here. Posted. Let's get this on the old trusty dusty measuring unit here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1/4 inches posted. And we'll do it capped. Look at this tiny little guy. It is just a little over, it's 3.3, I'll say, inches. I'm in America. I do inches. Deal with it. It's tiny. It's so tiny, in fact, that when you grab what you think is a tiny pen, like the Lilliput, and then you put it next to it, you find out that it is actually almost a 1/2 inch shorter. So yeah, this little guy is really little. But it's got that it factor, that like, ooh, I want it, oh, shiny object. Maybe I just have problems with that. This comes in many, many different materials. It comes in like materials I've never heard of. He has a stock of material that he's got stuff that I don't know what it is, but he makes it in all kinds of things, including certain resins that are transparent. They have it's got that thing. Some of them you can eyedropper. This, however, you cannot. This takes the standard international short cartridges. We will open it up to show you. There it is. I have I think I have just a Kaveco cartridge in there right now. And yeah, it's tiny. I mean, this is one of those pens you cannot really, I can because I'm weird, but it's meant to be, you gotta post it. And here's where I have my problem. Oh, Ben, why? I waited. I heard lots of great reviews, and maybe, I'll say this, maybe it's just mine, because I don't have anything else to compare it to. I don't own 2 of these. I got 1. I paid for it. My own money. My own card went in. This came out, right? So, the threads, okay? Because you got a thread to post, okay? And I bought it for that. I wanted it because it's stainless steel. I didn't want to be capping. They make the bigger one. They make the Gravitas pocket pen. It's just called the pocket pen, right? That one, notoriously, especially in the shinier metals, scratches when you post it, okay? And you get this ring and striations of scratches. Obviously, because it's the same metal on the same metal, and it's friction fit, and yeah, that's happening. Now, he's designed a new pen, which I am getting, that eliminates that by putting a little plastic liner on the inside so that he doesn't need threads and it just posts, but it doesn't scratch. Great, genius. He's improving. He recognizes the issue. However, oh, you heard that. That squeak that you just heard is the feel of these threads. Listen. How horrible is that? I mean, that's nails on the chalkboard. Some of you listeners right now are like wincing and crying and running to your hole. That's horrible. I mean, this is not a cheap pen. This is not, this isn't, a Mont Blanc, 149 or whatever. This isn't, a $700, $800 pen. It's still a very supposedly fine-made, handmade, crafted, high-end pocket pen. Oh, that chirps! I got a bird! I got a bird free. When I bought the pen, 2 pen and the birds or whatever, this is some kind of saying. Anyway, this thing, I can't even keep doing that. These threads are sharp. And this might be because of the titanium. This is grade 5 titanium. Maybe this is a thing with titanium. I don't know. I only have 1 of these. I cannot tell you. But in both capping, now capping, there's an O-ring here, so it slows it down. It kind of makes it feel better. But once you pass that O-ring, it's a nice turn. Like, you'll watch other reviewers, it's very few turns to uncap. It's like, let's see, it's like, that's half a turn. That's a full turn, and that's it. Yeah, so it's like 1 full turn, and it uncapped, right? So they're like, oh yeah, it's really cool. It's nice because you can do it quickly, right? Which I do love, right? But then to go get this thing on, oh my God, it feels so gritty. It's so gritty. It feels, I thought the very first time I did it, I thought there was like sand or dust or grit in here. I thought, let's go in. I thought there was stuff in these threads. Now look, we're up close. Those threads are freaking clean. There's nothing in them, and I made sure in this video to extra clean it, so there's no, oh, you got something in there. No. These threads are clean, but just look, you can see there's some kind of chatter going on in there, and I don't know. I don't know if it's this end or if it's in here, in this end. Maybe there's something going on, but it feels gritty. Chirps like an annoying little bird, and it just does not have that feel that it should have. And I know I'm going on about this, but when you wait a long time for a bespoke, high-end titanium pen that a lot of people really do covet. And it has that thing. It has that, I want to covet it. I want it so bad. It looks great. I love the profile. I love that it's slim when it's posted. A lot of these pens, they get like bulbous at the end, like the Kaweco Sport and a bunch of these other pens. They have these like big, thick caps for no freaking reason. I don't understand why. I think the proportions from a design element, like if we go in here, like design-wise, I feel like these proportions are much, much nicer. I feel like that taper down, it's just, that's beauty. So the design is amazing. The execution is amazing, except for these freaking threads. I don't know what's going on. Now, I might have gotten a dud. It might be all of them. I don't know. I got to speak to other people. It's hard to find other people who own this pen. This is not an easy pen to find a review on. There are a couple, but they're in different materials a lot of the time, so you can't get the titanium information like I can from this guy. So yeah, and it's got a grid to it, and yeah, there's a bird built in. Anywho, the nib is phenomenal. It does write extremely well. It is a little lightweight for me. Having owned a lot of stainless steel pens, stainless steel pens, okay? Like these guys. And there are more, but I'm just taking these out just to show you, right? These weigh a lot more. Now, I don't remember the grams, and I'm not going to get into the grams and what this is versus that, but let's see. I'm just going to do this blindly. Oh my God, yeah, okay. The Lilliput weighs more, for sure. I mean, you could feel it the second you pick it up. There's more weight. I don't know how much more weight, but you could feel it that there's more weight in the Lilliput. So yeah, smaller than a Lilliput in terms of, you know, the length when it's capped. Yeah, just disappointed in those threads. What can I say? I want to love it more, and I do love it. I love it just enough. And I wish, and Ben, if you watch this, we've talked in length to each other, actually, about a couple of things. Not this, though. I saved this for the video. Do a stainless steel version of this. I know that there's an issue with the walls, the thickness of the walls, and whatnot. I think, in the end, if this is an issue because of titanium is the way it is, I think stainless steel will solve this issue, and it will be a smoother thread without having to do much refinery in the thread shape. I think you could literally use the same templates you have already for making this and make it out of stainless steel, and I think you'll be okay. I could be wrong. Maybe he's tried it and it's been a mess, but I would love this in a stainless steel with threads that were maybe less of a pitch. I don't know. The section is beautiful. It's a fine line. Everybody. The few people who have reviews on these Quark Ups, they show you that they have this fine machined section that's got the grip. It's lovely. It's perfect. It really is just the perfect amount of, ridge. It's like that. It's like fingerprint type ridge, It's just enough to give you that grip. Feed keeps up with the nib. There's no problems. I mean, again, writes beautifully. But yeah, this, one more critique. If I'm going to be critiquing now, because usually I talk about experience and whatnot. This is experience, so this is part of it. That rubber O-ring can come off. It's here. Let me show you. Because when you post this pen, right, you're writing like this, okay? Let's jump all the way in here. You're writing like this, right? Da-da-da-da-da. And your hands sometimes your fingers, I should say, sometimes raise up to come to this area. Maybe, This O-ring can move out of its slot. There's a little divot that it sits into, but it does come out. And if you wipe against it hard enough, it actually rolls out. And it hasn't really happened since I've gotten used to worrying about it being there. But yes, I have had issues with that O-ring moving out of its place. Since I've reseated it after the first incident, it actually hasn't happened again. And that's full disclosure. Maybe it just wasn't seated in there correctly the first time. But again, oh, that chirp. You're waiting, you know, a while. You're spending, you know, this is after shipping almost, you know, it's like $160, $170 US. It's not a cheap pen. Yeah, I love it. I want to refine that. I have actually thought about putting a little grease or something on there to maybe lessen the chirp. But yeah, there's that weird chirp. I don't know. This side doesn't chirp. So maybe it does have to do with that. I don't know. I also know that the thread profile is different from here to here. These are like multi-step, so you can turn it on and off quickly. I know that. I know, so that is a difference. But anywho, I've been a little critical of this thing only because I love the design. I think it's one of the most perfect pocket pens ever created. I really do believe that. I think design-wise, especially in the titanium, I wish it was stainless steel. It doesn't make it in stainless steel. If this thing was stainless steel, I think the threads wouldn't even have that issue. I think in the end, it is design-wise, just the aesthetics alone is freaking perfect for a pocket pen. You can't ask for anything more. The Quark is really phenomenal. If you get it in another material, you're not going to have that chirp, guaranteed, because the other materials are like plastics and resins. It won't chirp. So only a solid metal like this will chirp like that. The fact that I can make it do it every time too is, you know, and I'm not cranking down. I mean, look. Anywho, I've griped on enough. It's still a gorgeous pen. I still keep it. I love it. I use it. I put it in my pocket. I've used it. I went to a doctor's office and brought it with me and took it out and used it at the doctor's office. This thing is a thing of beauty. It really, really is. It's gorgeous. But titanium, maybe it's just mine. I hate to say these things. But anywho, that's been the Gravitas Quark Up. And I do love it. That's all I gotta say. All right, this has been Pen and Gadget. I'm the Pen and Gadget Geek. Sometimes I say sayonara, sometimes I don't. I forget at the end. Anywho, sayonara.